I have a great one for you. It is a $10,000 grant that anyone can apply for. Whether you are a creator or business owner, anyone can apply to this $10,000 grant. My name is Darcy, and in this video, I'm gonna talk about how you can get $10,000 in debt-free funding. And so if you're new to grants, in simple terms, grants are free money that you don't have to pay back. And so in my personal opinion, it's better than loans and business credit, which would traditionally be how you would fund an idea or business if you didn't have the cash. But with grants, you're able to use other people's money to fund your dreams. And the way that you can have access to even more grants, think $100,000 and even $1 million is with my business grant newsletter. And so every single week, I send out a comprehensive list of grants that are available right now. And if you're interested, I've left a link in the description below. Another resource that I've created for you is the business and individual grant checklist. This will walk you through the typical grant application process. I don't want you to miss a single step. And later on in this video, I'm gonna tell you some common mistakes that I see people make that cost them the opportunity to get $10,000 or $20,000 in free money. And so now it's time to get into the grant details regarding this $10,000 grant. And so this grant is sponsored by O'Shaughnessy Ventures. And to give you some information, it is an investment firm started by Jim O'Shaughnessy. And the reason why he started the investment firm was truly to pour into the creators, innovators, and builders of the future. And he wanted to make sure that funding wasn't the obstacle that stopped somebody from pursuing their dreams. And that is why O'Shaughnessy opened this grant to everyone from across the world. No matter where you live, your background, or your income status, everyone is able to apply to the $10,000 grant. Now that you know that this grant is for you, let's talk about all that's included. And so with the O'Shaughnessy Fellowship and Grant Program, 20 people will be chosen to receive $10,000. 10 people will get $100,000 in debt-free funding to pursue their idea. And so in total, 30 people are walking away from this amazing organization with free money to transform their ideas into reality. In addition to the free money, you will also get access to a network of business owners, creators, and innovators who are making an impactful difference in the world. They're also offering a fellowship program that'll last for an entire year, which means that you have 365 days to learn, grow, and fail in a supportive community. To have the best chance of success when it comes to applying and getting this $10,000, it's very important that you know the 3 stages of this fellowship and grant program. And so the first stage of the grant program is the early application window. And so the early application window runs right now until February 28th. But once you see this grant application, you're gonna feel a lot more confident that you will be able to submit your application by the deadline, which in simple terms means that you want to apply as quickly as possible, which brings us nicely into the extended application window. And so this is more time that O'Shaughnessy Ventures is giving you to submit your application. And this goes from March 1st to April 30th. And so when it comes to submitting your grant application, you do want to make sure that you're proud of your responses, clearly communicate your passions, your values, and who you are as a person. And so in stage 2, which should happen at the beginning of the month, they're going to connect you to the OSV team where you have the opportunity to introduce yourself. This is where you're going to have longer conversations with the team. They really want you to demonstrate your ideas, curiosity, and your problem-solving skills. Tip number 1, be concise and impactful. Since these are short calls, you want to get to the point as quickly as possible. And one of the ways to do this is by creating a why OSV statement, where you're clearly able to communicate why you're interested in the OSV program and how you or your idea aligns with their mission. In addition, you want to practice a 1-minute pitch about who you are and what excites you about this opportunity. The next tip is to showcase your curiosity and insight. And some of the ways that you can do this is by asking thoughtful questions. and showing that you researched information about the OSV program. A great example of this is asking about previous grant winners and the qualities they saw that really helped them take home their money. The third tip I want to share with you all is that it's important to be able to demonstrate problem solving on the spot. And so you don't want to answer questions right away if you don't have a clearly thought out response. And so it's okay to take a couple of seconds or take some time to really think through your response when you're on these short calls with the OSV team. Lastly, I would say your energy and presence matter. And so before you go into your call, you want to give yourself the best pep talk ever because you are amazing and the ideas that you have are worth investing in. And then we have stage 3. This is really where they're going to narrow down and determine who they are going to invite into the fellowship program as well as give the grant money to. And so a tip to do well in stage 3 is to have a compelling story about your journey already prepared and ready to go. And so you really want to be able to give them insight into who you are as well as the passion that you have for your idea. And then another tip that I have for you all is it's important to demonstrate collaborative skills. You want to show that you're able to work with other people. You can also positively handle constructive feedback and then turn around and make improvements based off that feedback. And then lastly, I would say it's important to show leadership and initiative skills. You want to talk about your accomplishments and how you were able to drive the idea or project forward. If you read through these tips and prepare accordingly, you are setting yourself up for success, and $10,000 of free grant money and the chance of receiving $100,000 is well worth your time. And so the OSV team will take about a month to decide who are great candidates for the fellowship and grant program, where they will then announce on July 1st who are the fellows and grantees. And I want you to know that you have a huge opportunity with this grant, and there is nothing that disqualifies you from applying to this grant. And so if you are in need of funding, this grant right here is one that you want to dedicate time to apply for. And I want to share with you a few grant and fellowship winners so that you can see it is possible for you to win a grant no matter where you live or your current background. And so I want to first introduce you to Diana and Shay. They're college students at Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland, and they were accepted into the 2023 fellowship program to build Script, which is an online tool that helps immigrants access social welfare resources as quickly as possible. And so as you see, if there is a mission or cause that is important to you, this grant is the perfect opportunity for you to share your idea. The first common mistake that I see business owners do is not following instructions. And so typically in a grant application, they will give you a word count. They will also ask you to fill out a certain number of questions. And so it's very important that you fill out the grant application based off the request of the grant sponsor. The second mistake I see in grant applications is vague problem statements. And so you want to be able to clearly communicate how your idea addresses a serious problem in the world or the specific city, state, or country that you are focusing on. In other words, you want to emphasize how big the problem is and how your idea is the much needed solution. The third mistake I see in some grant applications is lack of measurable outcomes. And so it's important to be able to clearly communicate how success will be measured. And a typical rule of thumb is to use SMART goals. And so that's specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. And so your grant application will positively stand out if you incorporate the SMART method into your outcomes and goals. And lastly, you don't want to include generic responses on the grant application. And so while having a template or pre-written questions is good, you want to make sure to tailor your responses to what the grant sponsor is looking for. Let me know if you have any more questions about this grant or common mistakes, and I'll be more than happy to answer them in the comments below. And make sure to check out this video right here to open up a business checking account.